What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Mean Green, aka Prince of the Ghetto, coming again, and I want to talk about something with y'all. I want to put y'all mind somewhere. Just think of this, how the whole world lives right now. Just imagine life without drugs. Imagine if there wasn't such thing as any kind of drug. No weed, no cocaine, no crack, no meth, no pills, none of that. Hell, even the medicine that the doctors prescribe. Imagine if there was no such thing as drugs. From our fathers, our mothers, and grandmothers, they never did drugs. You know, I was born in the 80s, so as they say what that is, a crack baby. If your father was smoking, you know, back then in the 80s, they say everybody was smoking crack. Not everybody, but crack was like weed. And man, just imagine that if it wasn't no such thing as drugs, how life would be right now. Would the jails be, would the prisons be full of inmates? Imagine how the black communities would be right now if there was no such thing as drugs. Hospitals, how many people in the black communities would have degrees? You know, all the opportunities, because everybody have a clear mind. You know what I'm saying? Just picture this. You know, you got people in your family that smoke crack, drugs making them go backwards, drugs making them act out, drugs have their mind gone, they mind somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? And they wasting a lot of time chasing highs instead of dealing with real life and real problems. But just imagine if there wasn't any drugs and how people would be dealing with their lives right now. I can see life would be so much better, man. We'll have so many black doctors, black entrepreneurs. I'm talking about it wouldn't be that much crime because drugs have people want to rob and break in stuff to have it because it's a habit. You know, imagine them ones that's on drugs, they got habits, what they would be doing with their life right now. What would they have time to do with their life? Because think about it, everybody will have a clear mind. Everybody thinking positive, their mind is right. Life would be grand right now. I'm just saying, a lot of y'all was raised up, mama was smoking. She taking stuff out the house and you a child, y'all missing meals. That's messing with a lot of people mentals. They grew up with parents that was on drugs, and then as they live their horrible life at a young age, now they grown and they having flashbacks of what happened to them when they was kids. That's affecting them in their future, you know. I'm just saying, we'll be back in the day, parents would be on point. Those parents that were smoking them drugs, they would have been raising their kids right. Kids would be, I'm talking about, man, it would be, like, I think life would be right if there wasn't such thing as no kind of drugs. No one take drugs. Man, just imagine it though. Life would be off the chain. Everybody on point. I think you probably can leave your doors unlocked at night. Because when you see people creeping at night, they normally on some type of drug, looking for something to steal or looking for somebody to go smoke with or do the type of drug that they love with. That's why they be out in them streets at late night. A lot of murders, that's why there be a lot of murders. People stealing cars because they want to get some money. You got weed heads doing it. Man, I need something to smoke. I need weed. They ready to steal cars so they can get some money to go get weed. You know, crackheads, they steal anything they see. Powder head, they ready to go rob, plotting murders to get money so they can go get meth or whatever the habit that they love. That's why a lot of crimes is I think if there wasn't no such thing as drugs, crime would drop tremendously. Crime probably dropped down about 90%. If it's any other crime, only crime probably be, if there wasn't for drugs, probably be people murdering their mates, their girlfriends and boyfriends. They probably got caught cheating, beating their ass and stuff. Little silly stuff that you really can't avoid. But a lot of people would let that slide because their minds would be clear. See, a lot of people be beating up their mates because they high or something. They done been high. They ain't thinking right. They ain't thinking to the point where they making sense with themselves. If a lot of people went doing drugs, they'd be like, man, she cheated, man, fuck that. I see what it is. They'll move on because they in a good mind state. They got a positive mind. I'm telling you, man, just imagine life if there wasn't no kind of drugs, man. Life would be, people would be on top, man. I don't think the world, I think these politicians and the upper people, they'll probably lose grip on what they're doing because so many of us be catching on. A lot of stuff wouldn't be making sense. We'll be catching on and putting foots down on them. You know what I'm saying? But long as all these drugs out here gonna cause confusion, people just gonna be throwed off, you know. And the sad part about it, these youngsters, they still taking over the drugs. I'm going in my small hometown, they smoking ice and stuff, man. I'm talking about gone. And I'm like, damn, man, if you starting out 13, 14 smoking that type of stuff, imagine how your mind get when you get on up still doing it. They lost, man. And it's all the drugs' fault. But I'm just thinking, what if it wasn't no drug? That young child, 13, 14, to be in school, making straight A's, got their mind already made up, man, I'm going to play ball. Man, I'm going to be a fireman. Man, I'm going to be this. And they sat on it. They ready. They focus. They can concentrate. They don't have no distraction because drugs is a big distraction. Hey, mom, everybody be proud. That's what I'm talking about. It'll be a lot of young black kids' minds right. Boys and girls will be on point in this day and age, man. So me, I'm just thinking drugs is what really messed up the black community, man, because it take your ability away to think and focus on the right things. You know what I'm saying? Drugs, it'll have you just going in circles. A lot of people be on drugs, they smoking and not realizing 2-3 years in the past by they still doing the same thing. Begging, don't care how they looking, letting their body go, letting their health go. You know what I'm saying? They ain't looking at that. They just focus on getting that high. But then when they, some point in life, 5-6 years later, when they see other people looking, they realize like, dang, my face all crinkled up, I look bad. And then now they realizing like, dang, I'm a crackhead. And they realize they ain't learned nothing. They ain't tried to study nothing. And they just wasting their life. That's what's happening to a lot of people on these drugs, man. And then they get to and they get 30, they just say, fuck it, man. I need this to cope. I ain't got nothing. You know, I'm in the ghetto. I'm like, dang, I see them. You got a chance. He going to school and stuff, and I ain't got nothing. But I need something. And then they see that somebody, they got some money. I need that, because if I don't get that tonight, I ain't going to have nothing to smoke. They'll take a chance, go rob something. Because they need that money to go support their habit. And that's a lot of cases in the ghettos, man. Drugs play a big part in a lot of this bullshit going on in the ghetto. Drugs is fucking up people's minds, man. And at first, they don't see it. Like the crackhead, back then, everybody was doing crack. They didn't know crack was gonna have them strung out years later. Them crackheads didn't know they were gonna be looked upon a decade later, they some nobodies, because they were doing it out of thinking it was cool. That's how these drugs is now. Like these youngsters on these pills, when they get older, they still on them pills. The next generation gonna be looking at them like, man, you a pill head. Cause them pills, it's sinking it's making them turn blacker. It's dry, like it's drawing them up. You know, then they got these people smoking that ice and stuff, their skin is still looking drawed up. Lips always dry, they be dehydrated, they don't take care of themselves. And the truth be told, it's sad, man. And it's the youngsters doing this type of shit. I'm seeing they 15, 16, 17. Already messing their life up. But I'm just like, man, well, what if it wasn't no such thing as these drugs? These kids wouldn't know nothing about taking drugs, man. They'll be living a high life right now, man. Wouldn't hardly be no crime. They would be ready. A lot of parents will be happy with their child, man, because they fully focused. They don't have nothing to mess their minds or make them do dumb shit. And if they choose to do it, imagine how quick you can talk to them and change them to doing right. But once they get on them drugs snatch. That's the dark side. The drugs like the devil, it's just snatching and they just go to. And then next thing you know, they get in them streets. The streets get them. Now they people getting murdered. They doing crime. These youngsters will do a crime thinking that they can get away and keep doing it till they get caught. Now they got to go to jail for 5, 10 years. See how they wasted their life? And then by the time they figure out, you see them workers, you see them construction guys, they did time in the joint, got their mind right. Now they got to get out and get a job, working, doing something that they really don't like. Because they fucked up when they was younger, doing drugs, which made them make poor decisions. And that's just how it's just a cycle, man. But just imagine if there wasn't no such thing as drugs. Instead of that guy going to prison doing them 5 to 10, what he would have been doing with his time. And now he 30, what would he be? Probably be a movie star, an exec, a boss. Probably learn how to do the stocks. You know what I'm saying? Them drugs make us waste time to the point when we want to do something, it's too late. We don't got the money or nothing. And nobody's going to invest in us because they seen that they were junkies. And that's how life is, man. The drugs played a big part in crashing the black community, man. And it's still a regaining cycle because I'm looking at these youngsters. They 13, 14, they smoking ice now. Instead of weed, they don't something even stronger. So imagine when they get 20s and 30s, where they gonna be or what's gonna happen to them. And it's sad, man. But I just wish and pray to get rid of these drugs one day so our young kids and the younger generations can see a better way. And that's my wish, y'all. I just wish and imagine that there wasn't any more drugs in our lives, in our communities, to fuck us over. It's your boy, Mean Joe Green. Love. And I'm about.